Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious, and that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are. So 3, 2, 1, my juice little lads. Thank you, little lads. You're delicious and bright. What was that? Anyway, my delicious little babies, so it's a very dull scar today. It's, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? It's nearly 2:30 in our old afternoon in our old England, my delicious little babies. And I'm just going to bang out a quick video to you all, my delicious little babies. Now then, sorry, excuse me, the wind is picking up. Okay, so yeah, I've been trying to work out, and I feel I have worked it out, why Ronnie Cray came to myself, my delicious little babies, in the past week. And my only thoughts, because I'd have had other, let's just say, ones who have been in the public eye come to myself, and that doesn't mean no. Coming to myself over the years, my delicious little babies came. So what's my thoughts on this? My thoughts are, my delicious little babies, you see, if you look at the Crays going back all that long time ago, okay, my delicious little babies, the one thing that they never did, okay, was with the full and plenty, there we are, that they had, okay, my delicious little babies, but they wouldn't say pick on anybody who's poor, my delicious little babies. Do you understand what I mean? So the way I see it is, I feel it is came to myself, Ronnie, okay, as if to say, well, yeah, you are being run by a mafia, which I've been a long time, there we are, talking about this, okay, my delicious little babies. But these are totally opposite, because, they want to, like, with all of this social credit system and everything, so they want to ruin farms, want to ruin everything, okay? And I feel that that's the point, there we are, that Ronnie's making here. Do you understand what I'm saying, my delicious, there we are, my delicious little babies, okay? So, they sort of worked around in their own network. There we are, my delicious little babies, the Crays. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, okay? And not only that, but they very much, there we are, adored their mother. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? So, what's the point I'm making? There we are. There are a lot of differences. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? So, you could have a mafia where a mafia will still look after their own. There we are, if you know what I mean. I know what I'm saying, my delicious little babies, okay? But we're dealing with a mafia who's running the world, my delicious little babies, okay? Because that's what it is. There we are. It is a mafia, okay, my delicious little babies. So I feel that what's happening is that we dealing, like I've been, there we are, long time saying, yes, okay, that we're dealing with a mafia who doesn't look after anybody, my delicious little babies. And I feel that that's why he's been coming to me. Because I found myself, like I said on my previous video, I found myself like combing my hair in a certain way. It's really hard to explain, my delicious little babies, okay? And when I asked yesterday, it was yesterday when I was out and about walking, and I asked him on Oddle, silently. And I said, well, who are you? And then he said, spelt out, sorry, and said, Ronnie Cray. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay, it was just there, Ronnie Cray. Okay, my delicious little babies. So he can clearly, they can all see. There we are, my delicious little babies, what's going on here. Just like sometimes when I have, bless them all, Mr. Gaddafi, my delicious little babies, you know me. He pops in to see me, my delicious little babies. You see, some would look at myself as though I'm bonkers, crackers and crazy. Well, I'm not bonkers, crackers and crazy, my delicious little babies. There we are. This is what happens to myself sometimes, just like I just said, what's that? I felt like I just seen a line. It's really hard to explain, just a line going like that. My delicious little babies, okay, so there we are. So something's happening. Okay, my delicious little babies, there we are. It's really hard for me to explain all of this right now, my delicious little babies. Okay, there we are. It's really difficult for me to explain what's going on. There we are, my delicious little babies. It really is, okay? But it's good to know that, Ronnie Craig's there. And it's good to know because Patsy's probably, bless him, I hope you're all right, Patsy, as well. You know what I mean? That he's in spirit. Oh, he was such a funny man, Not in that way, not in that way. He was such a funny man, my delicious little babies, yeah? And he wrote a book and he signed it for me, when I was really young, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that was great memories. Like I said, not in that way, not in that way, okay? But bless him. But, Patsy did take a shine to me, my delicious little babies, okay? Anyway, oh, not to worry, okay? My delicious little babies, anyway. So that's the reason why I feel, okay? Something else I just want to say before I give out the videos today, my delicious little babies. Watch cheesing myself off, okay, my delicious little babies, and I will go back to this to do with yesterday's video again when I was out walking, my delicious little babies, okay? Because this is not helping the situation, okay? I'm seeing more and more. I personally am. There we are, my delicious little babies, okay? Whether you go to the supermarket, whether you're walking down the road, even on my road, you've got carers who are in cars, and they're both wearing muzzles, my delicious little babies, okay? This, I feel, this is mentally, there we are, insane, my delicious little babies. It is mentally, there we are, insane. Okay, my delicious babies. Well, I'm not going to be wearing any muzzle. I never wore a muzzle with the old pandemic. No, I did not, my delicious little babies, okay? And I certainly did not stand 6 feet apart. No, I did not. Okay, my delicious little babies, the whole lot was silly nonsense now. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? But when one's wearing muzzles and you're trying to help them, you know what I mean, to explain. But at first, that woman said, and that's what I forgot to tell you, my delicious little babies. I said, why are you wearing a mask, a muzzle, And furthermore, like I said on my video yesterday, that house, I've never seen any carers ever go there. And I've been on this road for nearly 10 years, my delicious little babies. Do you understand what I mean, okay? So I have a feeling that we know, there we are, what this is all about, don't we, my delicious little babies? Do you know what I mean? And your woman there, she said, that's off camera. And she turned around and said, I do not want to have this conversation. Okay, my delicious little babies. Well, this is not good. It's not good if you're a carer with your clients. No, it's not. And I think it's totally wrong. Well, I don't think, I know. It's totally wrong for them to be doing this. And like I said, worse still, sitting in a flipping car. When there are, you get ones and twos, and that one there, she was on her own. And she's wearing a muzzle in her flipping wheels, my delicious little babies. Have you ever heard that we are such silly madness now? Because that's what it is. But of course, because I was walking and talking, obviously I never seen because I was too busy talking, wasn't I, my delicious little babies? And then she decides to wind a damn flipping window down. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious little babies? When all I was doing was trying to help her. There we are, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? To get herself, there we are, to look at what she's doing. But like I repeat again, and I repeat it in my camera now, my delicious little babies, the only one who she seems to want to protect, it seems, there we are, is her own damn self, isn't it? And that doesn't mean no, my delicious little babies, okay? It's all right, my bra strap keeps slipping. I think somebody's, there we are, sparing a thought for myself, my delicious little babies, okay? But anyway, let me just, and of course, not in that way with myself, you know what I mean? The point is this, my delicious little babies, all that's going to do, I mean, if she never took the jibby jab, which she said she never, off the camera, my delicious little babies, okay? Well, and then putting that on, that was telling myself that, there we are, like she's wanting to protect herself. So like as if she doesn't want to breathe the same air, there we are, as who she's going to care for. There we are, my delicious babies. That's how I read that situation. But all I was trying to do was get her to see. Do you see what I mean, mad little babies, okay? Not to create any problem now, do you know what I mean, okay? But the question is, do I get peed off with this when you're seeing it all the time? You know what I mean? Wearing a muzzle. This is not good for one's mental health, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? Not one bit. It isn't. Anyway, but thank you to dear Ronnie for coming to see me. Thank you, dear Ronnie, bless. Do you know what I mean? Okay? But yeah, he's letting me know. But we will win, my delicious little babies. There we are. We are winning. And the reason why we're winning this war, okay, my delicious little babies, that has been put on to us, okay, my delicious little babies, the reason why we're winning is because of all of the, there we are, all of the censoring, my delicious little babies, there we are, that's going on. Do you see what I mean, okay? So if you cannot say, you know, what it is that you want to say, you know, and then you're getting shut down, well, that's not equal, is it, my delicious little babies? You see, the way I believe it is, my delicious little babies, there we are. Ones just do not like the damn truth, isn't it? Because you wouldn't be censoring, would you? You know, and I also find it to be, there we are, most childish, my delicious little babies. Do you understand what I mean? Okay? If you're going to get shut down every 5 minutes, you know, so that we cannot have our say, and we're supposedly supposed to, you know, follow the leaders, you know what I mean? Which, of course, is going to lead us, there we are, all into the den of inequity. There we are, my delicious little babies. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, so please, my delicious little babies, for anybody who has not looked at him yet, these are all on YouTube, my delicious little babies, the first one. Okay, he's up to 15.3 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies, and with anybody not in that way, Shahid, SHAHID, then space, capital K, capital S, then King, then space, capital B, Bolson, BOLSEN. Okay, my delicious little babies. I am going to keep mentioning it because there's another video where that I've listened to this morning, my delicious little babies. And not only that, but he's posted 2 videos. He's not long posted one, actually, I think about 30 odd minutes ago. And the actual date, the first one I listened to is the 7th of February 2025, and this latest one that he's just uploaded is the 1st of February 2025, my delicious little babies. I forgot how many minutes. I think it's over 20 minutes long, my delicious little babies, so I've got to listen to that one, okay, my delicious little babies. But it's important because, and he talks about, you know, that we should all get together, there we are, as communities, you know, cul-de-sacs and everything, do you know what I mean, okay? Like to share our resources. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, to put something in the kitty, there we are. You know, I've been saying this, you know what I mean? It's like when you've got somebody who's like I know, you know, who have an allotment, smart little babies, and then at a certain time of the year, they bring me, you know, a couple of bags of, you know, spuds and runner beans and things like this now then, do you know what I mean? Because it's about helping, there we are, one another, my little babies. So really, I would really strongly suggest that ones, if you haven't already, please take a listen to this dear man, because he's, you know, clearly, there we are, talks ding, ding, dong, dong, common sense, you know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? I enjoy listening to him, like I said, not in that way. I only like to listen to common sense, you see, my delicious babies. Now then, that doesn't mean no, just got an itch. Now then, this was uploaded, this next one, 17 years ago. And when I clicked on videos, the last video to be uploaded was 14 years ago, my delicious little babies. There are different types of videos, my delicious little babies, you know, maybe to have a little browse through, you know. This uploader, 17 years ago, my delicious little babies, to do this video, happened to have 860 subscribers, my delicious little babies. So I don't know where he's gone. Okay, my delicious little babies. I've never seen this video before, this uploader or this video. He's called capital P in the old space bar, my delicious little baby, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest. Paul, space, capital H, Hin, Riches, oh, I don't know, Hinrichs. I'll spell it for you, my delicious little babies. HRRCHS. Okay, my delicious little babies. And the video should read, it's only nearly 3 minutes long, my delicious little babies. There we are, very interesting. I mean, for some of you, you may have looked at this video, but I personally haven't. Zappa defines fascist theocracy. Okay, my delicious little babies. I'll just repeat that again for you, shall I? Zappa defines fascist theocracy. Okay, my delicious little babies. And he explains it in no uncertain terms, there we are, where everything was leading. And that was on this video, my delicious little babies, okay? Well worth a little listen to that one. Now, sorry, excuse me. The next one, my delicious little babies. With this one here, this is a case of taking out bits and pieces of what I'm showing you, my delicious little babies, you know, to give the information on this video. So this upload happens to have 1.98 million subscribers, my delicious little babies, can. And the uploader is called 50 capital M, okay, then a space, capital V, videos. Okay, my delicious little babies, it's come up on my feed. I do not believe I've seen this before, my delicious little babies, okay. It's just over 32 minutes long, my delicious little babies, okay. So again, these are not long videos, okay, my delicious little babies. And the video should read 30 darkest moments in TV history ever filmed. Okay, my delicious little babies, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? 30 darkest moments in TV history ever filmed. Now, I don't know why the uploader, to be honest, my delicious little babies. I mean, please do not get me wrong. It's good to see these clips from years ago. Some are recent, some are from years ago, my delicious little babies. So, why you put 30 of the darkest moments in TV? Because there wasn't all the darkest moments. I'll tell you what I was seeing a lot of, my delicious little babies. A lot of, these reporters, that we are fainting, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? I think one was, and there was one on there where it appeared that they said that she was talking gibberish, but I think she was having rewind and start again. She was having some form of a stroke, my delicious little babies, when she was talking into her microphone, my delicious little babies. But anyway, it's a case of taking out bits and pieces, my delicious little babies, can. So that's that one done. Now, please and thank you. Now, the next one, my delicious little babies, okay, this is on YouTube. This uploader, this one's happened to come up on my feed as well, my delicious little babies. I haven't seen this one either. Happens to have 35.8 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies. In the old space bar, should anybody happen to have any form of an interest, please and thank you. Capital B, Black Boot, so it's 2 words together, Black Boot. Okay, my delicious little babies, space, capital O, official. Okay, my delicious little babies. And the video should read, the Trump train. Now this is nearly 7.5 minutes long. Okay, my delicious little babies. The Trump train lied to all of its passengers about their itinerary. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I'm just going to repeat it again for you. Okay, my delicious little babies. The Trump train lied to all of its passengers about their itinerary. Okay, my delicious little babies. Okay. Yeah. Well, and then he did another one. I've forgotten that. What was the other one? It's just nearly 8.5 minutes long. What was that talking about? Anyway, it's a recent one, my delicious little babies. Anyway, yeah. And the thing with this as well, I'll tell you who he looks like to myself. Anyway, I'll tell you what. This will probably be a one-off video, okay? It's the same as the first one, Zappa defines fascist theocracy. Okay, so they'll just be one-offs. I'll tell you who he looked like, and that's why I thought at first he was bless. dear Gareth Ark. I thought he was in. I did, honestly. So sorry, Gareth, do you know what I mean? Of course, not in that way, not in that way. I thought it was he. So I tell you what, Gareth, you've got, it seems you've got a lookalike somewhere over in Barn in the USA. I genuinely thought that was, I thought, well, last time I seen him, he had short hair. And then this one, his hair looked a bit longer, but he done half flipping look like him. Do you know what I mean? Madly anyway. But yeah, he talks. This one here, there we are, points things out now. Just like our lovely, not in that way, our lovely David Icke and his lovely dear little sons, Gareth, Jamie, and their lovely dear friend Richard, okay, and our lovely dear David Ark, yes. Everybody's pointing things out. Do you see what I mean? Martin Schlick babies, and, and there are others. And then, of course, you got your others who are all for the ka-ching, 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 you know what I mean? Hopping on the gravy train, and some of them not wanting to get off the gravy train, you know what I mean? Because if you say, let's just say, what ones want you to say, then you get paid a lot of ka-ching, 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 we're in the money, we're in the money. Do you see what I mean? Mad Lichlick babies. But when you tell there we are the truth, others are not a liking. Do you see what I mean? Mad Lichlick babies. Anyway, so that's that one. Worth a listen. But like I said, I probably won't listen to any more of his videos, I don't need to. Do you understand what I mean? Mads Lichtig babies. And once I've given it out, no disrespect, once I've given it out, Mads Lichtig babies, that's my job done. Now, the final one, Mads Lichtig babies. Now, this is interesting, this is. I'm not sure about this video. I don't know, parts of it never look real to me. Anyway, Mads Lichtig babies. That was just my thoughts anyway, Mads Lichtig babies, okay? This uploader happens to have 243,000 subscribers. Again, this will be a one-off video that I'm advertising my delicious little babies. In the old space bar in YouTube, my delicious little babies, capital M, Mand, space, capital T, 2, and then space, capital G, goals. Okay, as in you scored a goal. Okay, Mads Lichlick baby. So mind 2 goals. It should read once tapped in to the old spacebar Mads Lichlick babies in YouTube. And this is just over 22 minutes long, Mads Lichlick babies. And the video should read, here's why digital RD is so dangerous and what it means for the US. Okay, Mads Lichlick babies, Elon Musk. Yeah, that putrid creature. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you, shall I? Here's why digital ID is so dangerous and what it means for the US. Yeah, so you've got Elon Musk talking here, Mads Lichlick babies. Me personally, I don't know, it doesn't look real. Okay, Mads Lichlick babies, it doesn't look real. Do you know what I mean, Mads Lichlick babies? Anyway, I didn't need to listen, I was only like a quarter of the way through. And I just wrote this down. There we are, Mads Lichlick babies, and I just clicked off. Because he is part, there we are, that I feel he is part of to roll things in. Just like, you know what I mean, Mads Lichlick babies, okay? He's certainly nobody's friend. Okay, Mads Lichlick babies, there we are. And that is what I have to say. Okay? So no matter, if they're Elon Musk fans out there, but I have mentioned it, not to praise him now, not at all. But it's for you to see, but it doesn't look real to me, Mads Lichlick babies. No. But he pretends, this is what he does, you see. He pretends, there we are, that he's on his fan's side, when really he's not. Okay, Mads Lichlick babies, there we are. And I just like to keep pointing things out as well, Mads Lichlick babies. Every now and again I do that, okay? So that's all the videos. So we need to remember to go backwards, Mads Lichlick babies, to where we need to go back to. Yeah, up the road, somebody's put, sorry, excuse me, Mads Lichlick babies. Oh, sorry. So I'm walking around with my beautiful little Ruby Tuesday, because my beautiful little Maisie Moo can walk herself. And somebody left out, like it's a honey. It says honey on it, honey jar, Mads Lichlick babies, yeah. And then I carried on walking, then somebody has specifically put a green and white bowl under one of my little berry trees. Mads Lichlick babies up the road. And then on the grass, not far from it, is 2 suitcases, my delicious little babies. So I've no idea what, they're wanting to get across to me, my delicious little babies. I mean, with a bowl, you do washing up, don't you? My delicious little babies in a bowl, or I don't know, or you could soak your feet in a bowl, do you know what I mean? My delicious little babies. Anyway, well, a bowl can be used for many things, can't it? You can put your peelings, if you peel your spuds and so forth, vegetables and things, anyway, you can use it for many things. But, the fact of the matter is, I don't get the part where they put it under a tree. Okay? So I'll have to spare a thought for that. And then there's 2 suitcases there. Well, I don't know. Is it somebody's flipping going on holiday or something? Or somebody wants to go on holiday? I just do not know. But these are the strange things that happen, my delicious little babies, with myself living on the road. Do you know what I mean? They put little things down, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? Oh, and over by, what is it, the grit, the yellow grit over the back over there. What did they have? Was it a camping chair? One of these little camping chairs. They're only about a tenner, these fold-away ones. There was one there. And there was also, or am I getting mixed up? Was that? No, that was the other week. There was what's it called? A trolley, my delicious little babies. That you pull along, a little trolley that you pull along, that the elderly pull along, my delicious little babies. One of those. They do crackers things, whoever this is, my delicious little babies. Anyway, so that's the end of my video, my delicious little babies. So wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. And may your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. Remember the eagle, remember Iceland. Okay, my delicious little babies, so very much love. Thank you so very much for listening. How I love you all so. Please have a beautiful time wherever you are in the world. And thank you for your patience. There we are, listening to my videos. Okay, my delicious little babies, okay? So it probably does sound like I'm bonkers when I'm certainly no such thing at all. Okay, my delicious little babies. Love ya. Thank you. Goodbye.